You know, one of my favorite pastimes is just scrolling through Facebook Marketplace for absolutely no reason, and making a video about that makes it socially acceptable. Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and today we'll be looking at and reacting to some Facebook Marketplace ads that I've found over the past couple weeks. Now, I've made a video on Facebook Marketplace ads before, which you can check out in the link in the description, and in that video we talked about the kind of titles you should be using, the photo types you should be using, and maybe some of the prices you should be offering for your typewriters. But today, these are just ads that have typos, bad photos, weird prices, maybe don't even contain typewriters. The whole point is just to react to some silly ones that I found scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. So there's lots of things that can go wrong when listing a typewriter on Facebook Marketplace, and one of the first categories we're going to look at is typos. Now, there are lots of ways to spell typewriter apparently on the internet, including messed up hashtags on Instagram, and here on Facebook Marketplace, there are a lot of interesting ways to spell the word type and the word writer. Here in typewriter, we have type spelled T-P-E and T-I-P-E, and then for writer, we have one with a W, and then one that lists this typewriter as a product of the Wright brothers from North Carolina, but this is what the typewriter would look like if you threw it out of the plane. The second thing to look at in Facebook Marketplace ads are the titles that have funny names. Now, this could be a couple of things. This could be somebody just trying to make you laugh with their title and make their post stand out. This could also be people who mislabel or misrepresent a typewriter in their title just because they don't know what it is. So a couple examples of these could be the following. I don't understand this one at all, but I found it really funny, and it's just titled as Mike wanted a fax machine, typewriter, computer, calculators. Now, I don't know if that's a business looking for those things, selling those things, and why Mike is there, but he's there, and I think that makes this post kind of funny to read. Here's one that's perfect for today, and this is listed as the vintage 1960s Sterling Smith Corona, in parentheses, not the virus, typewriter. Another Corona typewriter, oldie but goodie. I saw this one on the typewriter Facebook group, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing I had ever read in a typewriter posting, and the title for this one is First Generation Home Computer. Doesn't connect to any network, does print wirelessly. I think that's a hilarious title for a typewriter. This is clearly somebody who has a good sense of humor, and it's really interesting to see how people decide to list their typewriters. This guy gets it. I find it really odd that I found two separate posts for people selling their typewriter along with their Xbox or Xbox games. I don't know why you're selling those at the same time, but good for you, I guess. Here's one that I find is interesting. It kind of looks like one of those Amazon posts where they have the object just on a white background, and it's titled as Tired of Running Out of Printer Ink? And then it's a photo of a typewriter. Now, if you're tired of running out of printer ink, a typewriter may not be the best bet for you because, like a printer, typewriters also need ink. There's a couple posts in this batch that also list typewriters as conversation pieces. So here's one that's listed as typewriter conversation piece. And then here's another one listed as Royal Typewriter just for looks. Here's another good one. This guy clearly knows what's going on. It just says, I want my garage back. And then it has a picture of an adding machine, which is not a typewriter, but I get the vibes that this guy might have a few of those too. Old boho junk. I'm hoping to someday be called that myself. So that's the second category today of typewriters, an amalgamation of interesting titles and things to call your typewriters. They're superfluous, they're fun, and they often have a sense of humor to them. So we're now upon the third category of typewriter listings, which I'll just refer to as typewriter sins. And in the typewriter community, there are just a few lines you don't cross. Some of those include painting your entire typewriter, taking the keys off your typewriter to make jewelry, and putting potting soil and succulents in your typewriter. Now, I get there are a lot of cases where sometimes a typewriter is just not salvageable, so you want to put a plant in it. And that's up to you as a personal typewriter collector. I don't get to tell you what to do with your typewriters, that's your call. But it's always interesting to see them listed on Facebook Marketplace, and a lot of these end up in the typewriter Facebook group as cardinal sins of typewriter ownership. So here's a few of those. Here's the vintage typewriter with succulents. Now, a lot of people cringe when they see a photo like this, just because you're putting things inside a typewriter that you might never be able to get out of it again. I guess if you're trying to garden and you want succulents, you could always put them in like a pot or something. This one hurts my very soul. I'm not against painting your typewriter, you do you, but what's really bad is when people just take a full spray paint can and they just cover the entire typewriter. And here's unfortunately an example of that. It's impossible to get it off of everything, especially when you get it on something rubber like the Platen. And in this case, they painted the entire typewriter in white paint. And I don't know why you did that. Who hurt you? The only thing they didn't cover in paint for some reason is the shift key. I don't understand your logic. I don't get it. And I'm just sad. This doesn't even look like a typewriter to me anymore. It looks like it was left at the bottom of the ocean. But you know, everybody needs a boat anchor once in a while. Now here's one for corn dogs in a bathtub. So that's been me reacting to Facebook Marketplace ads. There are a lot of interesting ones out there, and they're just a lot of fun. We've got typos, we've got interesting titles, we've got typewriter sins. There's all kinds of things on Facebook Marketplace, and I highly encourage you to consider it when you're looking for your next typewriter. Just because you could find something that's close to you so you don't have to worry about shipping, you can also find something that might be in really good condition and might be listed for really cheap because somebody doesn't know what it's worth. And you could also get a project typewriter, and that's a typewriter that might look a little rough around the edges, but you can definitely turn it into something beautiful once you get it home and learn some cool repair techniques on your typewriter. If you're interested in more typewriter content, you should check out some more videos on this YouTube channel, and we also have an Instagram at just.my.typewriter. I want to thank you so much for watching today and remind you that you're just my type writer.